This one will be short and sweet. Polishing a knife to a mirror finish. Let's jump in. Alright, so here's what I've got going. I've got a knife clamped up, and I've actually got this side already to a 2000 grit finish. So kind of what I do is I work my way through the grits. I have 150, 240, 400, 600, 800, 1000, and then 1500 and 2000, and then I've got some 2500 over here as well. And that's kind of where I work through, and then I'll do some 5000 and then we'll buff it. So let me unclamp this and show you what I've got. So this is the knife as it stands at about a 2000, which is pretty nice. But we'll do 2500 next. You can see it's already getting a pretty good mirror on it. You can see my hand in it. And we'll do 2500, and then I'll go grab some 5000, which I don't have in my little tray. But I clamp it down like that, and then I have this little piece of angle, and I wrap the paper around it. So I'm gonna grab some 2500. Actually, 2500's right here. Grab a nice thick piece, and I wrap it around just like this, around the back side. Take some oil, a little WD-40. I see a lot of guys using Windex as well. I think that probably works really well too. Haven't used it yet. Let me zoom in a little bit, and I'll show you kind of what I do. Nothing super rocket science or anything going on here. Let's flip this around because it's a little bit skinny. All right, make sure it covers the whole width of the blade, and I set it down, and then I pull it. And then you'll start to get these like little marks there where it's kind of a stop and start point. So then I try to make sure that I kind of lead it on an edge, put it down flat, and then pull back. You'll still get a little bit of a stop and start point, but you can clean it up with some really light strokes. So I pull it, then I'm gonna get down here into the blade, actually where the bevel is, not just the ricasso, and I'll pull that. And I'll just repeat that process over and over for a long time. And then what I'll do is I'll take it off of this, and then I'll kind of float it. This is a little bit dangerous. This isn't all the way sharpened yet, but I advise you to be careful with this. This is not a brilliant idea with my setup. It'd be better if I had a board under it, so I'm just saying that right up front. Then I kind of float it a little bit back and forth up into the grind line. And you gotta be really careful at the tip, because if you go off and then come back, you're going to the hospital. So I just make sure that I'm really careful on the tip. And then I just keep working it, getting up into the radiuses, just floating it, hardly any pressure at all. I apply pretty good pressure with this, with the angle iron, but with just my hand, very, very gentle pressure, kind of float it. It gets a little bit of a slurry that starts to develop, and I just keep working that in. Let me give you a different angle. Alright, so just still kind of floating it. And it's getting like that little bit of a slurry. So it's just very light pressure with some oil. And this is 2500 grit. Just kind of float it around a little bit. But I am trying to keep my movement straight. I don't want to do like circles or anything. I don't want to do circles. I want to just go straight back and forth as much as I possibly can. Alright, got some 5000. Dab a little more oil. Watch out, Cleo. Stay back. Got my 120-pound German Shepherd over here. There she goes. Cleo. Back. Back. Now to the most dangerous tool in the shop. Alright, I got this thing all cleaned up. It's not perfect. I still see a couple little areas that I need to rework, and that kind of happens. You'll get everything really nice and you'll see, oh, I still see some little scratches here and there, so I'll have to work through the grits a little bit more. Alright, so I took it over there and buffed it, and then I just started to actually polish it a little bit more with just a little bit of water. Look at that water break. And using some 5000 grit sandpaper just to kind of continue to work it just a little bit more, because I see some little areas that still need some attention. So I'm just kind of working it by hand a little bit, real light, hardly any pressure, just kind of floating it by hand. And I do want to reiterate, this isn't necessarily what you should do. This is what I do. I really do highly recommend putting a piece of wood under this. This is super dangerous. I hate for anyone to get hurt doing it like I'm doing it, and I need to build a jig. So it is what it is. So I'm gonna put this on the steel and do some straight pulls. Well, sad news. While I was working on it over there, I dropped it on the concrete. So I had to kind of start back over from 1000. So 1000 grit. Now I'm back over here. I'm gonna do the final buff. It's looking pretty good, but that happens and it really stinks. All right, final buff, and I'm done with this thing. I already hit it over on this side, and I'm hitting it on a dry, clean hard wheel. This side had some little bit of compound, just some finishing compound. Now I'm just kind of cleaning it off over here. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go clean it off and show you what it looks like when it's clean. Yeah, that was such a bummer to drop this thing, and I was so frustrated that I didn't even stop to show you guys. I just went right back to work, and it buggered up the edge just a little bit, so I had to do some repair, and it made me very frustrated. But anyways, I'm being more careful, going slower, and holding on to this thing. That was just kind of one of those things. Just happens, and it breaks your heart when it does. Okay, so this thing is still not absolutely perfect, but it's really good, and I'm pleased with it. Like I said, I'm still learning. I've only been making knives for since September. It's January right now, so 4 or 5 months, and I'm learning all the time. Love it. It's very, very satisfying to me. This is my process. So I take it from a 120 belt up to a what do I got? I think it's a 1200 belt, and no, 120, 240, 1200, 2000 or 2500, and then I come over here and work on whatever I need to. This is a little kit that I've put together. You know, start back down if I need to with a 150, then I go up to 240, 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1500, 2000, 2500, and then I will go up to 5000, and then I'll buff it. And sometimes I'll come back after buffing it and work it a little bit more with some water and 5000 grit, and then head back over to buff it as well. With the rest of the process, when I'm sanding, I will use WD-40, but the last bit I'll start to use water a little bit. But anyways, this is what it looks like. It is a mirror finish. You can see the camera in it. Is it perfect? No. Will it work? Absolutely. It looks pretty darn good. So anyways, just like you're holding a mirror up, I can see my hands, see my fingers, see everything. So it's looking really good. I am very pleased with this. I'm not gonna drop it again. Whew, hate when that happens. Has it ever happened to you? I bet it has if you've been making knives for more than 10 minutes. So anyways, hopefully that was helpful to you guys. If it was, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys on the next build. Actually, I paused for a second to do this because I've been doing a build over there, making a bevel jig and a file guide basically. Got the components in, I started filming that, and then I broke away to work on this knife because this is a knife that has already been commissioned, and I need to finish it and send it out soon. So anyhow, this thing has turned out well. Time for some final touches and put a handle on it and all that good stuff. So anyways, tune in next time and we'll see ya. Bye.